Good Sunday morning from my garden. Well, this is my second start at a video. I started earlier to make a video, and it was supposed to be a special Sunday morning devotional in my garden. But as soon as I started making the devotional video, everything started falling apart. First, let me tell you, in fact, it's kind of funny. I started out by laboriously moving my table and chair back into this position. They were here to begin with, but I moved it. So watch for plans, they tie you in knots. But anyway, my plan was to make this a place to write my morning pages. Perfect place, really. But, so I laboriously moved. First I had to wipe the dew off, so much for the dew on the roses concept. But the dew had made everything wet. Dew on the roses is one thing, dew on your writing table is another thing. But anyway, I had to wipe everything down and then move it over here. In the meantime, I went inside. This is my Mississippi cup. My Mississippi mug, kind of like Mississippi mud. I went inside and made coffee in my Mississippi mug. I wanted this moment to be picture perfect. And picture perfect is important. It's part of our inspiration. So don't worry about making things picture perfect, but do worry about letting the perfect be the enemy of the good, because things started falling apart by leaps and bounds. I can't even recall it all now, but I finally got everything in place. That took a while. The day was getting hotter as I was laboring at this effort, and I finally got my computer out here, and I started to make my first video, and Siri on my computer started piping in. Excuse me, I didn't get that. Could you repeat? I was making a video and Siri was trying to compete with me just a few steps away from where I was videoing. So I had to stop that effort. I tried to turn her off, but it was too late. The video was ruined. So anyway, I decided, well, I'll just sit down and start writing. Well, I sat down in my perfect spot and the flies started attacking me. The flies, nuisances. Oh my gosh, nuisances. Spam callers. Nuisances. Life's full of nuisances. And guess what? Regardless of how artistic and ideal your mindset is, you're going to have nuisances. And you got to deal with it. Or just quit. Just quit living. Just quit. Just give it up. And that's not a good option. I've tried it. But then Siri was fighting me, so I decided I'll sit down and write anyway. And guess what? The bugs came back, and I sat down in this metal chair right here, and the bottom of it may be cute, but it started grinding into my tailbone. I couldn't stand it. So I went onto my back porch to find a cushion for the chair. Besides that, the chair's too low. It looks perfect. What looks picture perfect can be deceiving. It looks cute, but it's too low. The chair's too low, and the bottom of it grinds into my rear end. So I went inside to my back porch to look for a cushion. I couldn't find one. My back porch is such a jumbled mess. My back porch is a symbol for the rest of my life. It is. I'm not even going to show you. It's such an embarrassment. I couldn't find a cushion. Well, I'll come back and I'll just get through the day, try my best. So I sat down and started writing. I made a list of what I was going to write. And already my day was run. It was going to be a devotional. Well, I wasn't feeling very devotional at that point. So, started writing again. The flies came back. I went back to that cluttered back porch to look for some off. Couldn't find any. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Sat down and started writing again. And finally, my coffee was cold by now, of course. It looks cute, but it's cold. In fact, a lot of people, because God did give me a lot of gifts. I can write, I can paint, I can do a lot of things, but I don't clean my house. I don't organize correctly. I struggle with a plate too full. Plate too full is almost as bad as a plate empty. Because in fact, I'm going to tell you, this is a true story. I taught art in schools for so long, and invariably the obnoxious parent would come up to me and say at parent night, my Johnny or Susie or whoever is so gifted. And under my breath, I would mutter, I'm sorry. Because being gifted is almost a curse. Gifted people can do everything. And guess what? In that ability to do everything, we do nothing at all because our brains get overwhelmed. Our schedules are too cluttered. And guess what? Gifted people are perfectionists. Well, I don't know, not all of them. Some of them are just real slobs. And I'm a slob about my house. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect in my house. In fact, I often get this. Is there anything you can't do? And I always say yes. I can't balance my checkbook, and I can't clean my house. And both of those I can do, but they're just not my priorities. But yesterday was an artist date. I went outside and filled my cup with good thought. Not too full. My cup is already too full, as you can see. But I've filled my spirit with fresh new energy. And I came out to my garden today to write, and everything fell apart. I couldn't write the devotional I wanted because by the end of about 10 minutes, I wasn't feeling devoted. But I did yesterday buy some new plants and some new seeds. So the day after Artist Date will always be a day to re-sow seeds. And today I'm going to plant the plants that I bought yesterday symbolically. Yesterday was a day of preparing my ground. If you remember, I said before I ever started planting my garden, I had to prepare my ground. Well, yesterday I prepared my ground, emotional ground. And today I'm going to start filling it back up with fresh things and new beginnings. And that's the day after Artist Date.